Okay, so we're going to start off by doing a little spoiler-free summary for anyone that hasn't watched it yet. Just a little review of what we thought of it in general.
Okay, so my overall rating out of 10.
Oh, 10, okay.
I really liked it. I'm going to give it a 9.
I think I would too.
Yeah, I think, and the 1 isn't because there's anything I really disliked, except one thing, but it's so tiny, and I understand. Ooh, it's a little hint for later.
No, there were a couple of things that I was kind of
it's more
like,
just improvements.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think the reason that there's a bit because it's different from the books, but I think that I like it as an adaptation, but also separate from the books. Like if you don't compare it too much to the books, then I like it.
And I think if you're a fan of the books, you should definitely watch it, just because I think it's just interesting to see, obviously, everything brought to life, but because it's different to the film, it kind of feels new again.
Yeah. But it's nice with like scenes and characters that you recognise, being like, oh, this is the bit that I liked, or I like this character or this relationship. Sort of thing.
So that is the end of these spoiler-free ramblings. I'm going to start off with things that I think could be improved.
Okay, we're starting with improvements.
Yeah, I feel like I've got a couple, just very small things. Okay, first thing that made me want to deduct a point, just because I really hate it, is how terrible the portal looked.
Oh, you know, like the one where it's all purple and Clary Clary stands there like that and then it just disappears. Yeah, that bit
really got me.
I was kind of like, oh really?
But you know what, when Jocelyn is lying in the magical mist, it actually looked okay, like the CGI there was good, but the portal was absolutely horrendous.
It was. The Institute, when they had how high tech it was.
Yeah, it's not what I expected.
Because in my head, like when they had all the fancy screens and they were like tracking and everything, I felt like I was watching like CSI or something.
Yeah.
Or like like some program like that when they have all the fancy equipment, and it's just not what I imagined for the Institute. I imagine it to be a bit more old school.
I was gonna say, because I do think of like Shadowhunters as being this kind of like ancient race
because
type thing.
it's in an old abandoned church. So I imagine it a lot more.
At the same time, I didn't really mind.
No, it wasn't. It was just something that I was kind of like,
Yeah, the other thing is like when they did show that shot of like the Institute and you can see the screen and stuff, there were like 20 people walking around.
That's what I mean.
I was like, who are all these people?
It felt like it was in some like secret undercover like spy thing, because there were all these people walking around looking all secretive and all these screens, and I was like,
so in the book it's just like the main group that live there. And suddenly there's like all these people, and I was like, oh, I wonder if we'll meet anyone.
I'm not sure.
I did think a few things with a little too cheesy. I don't mind a little cheese, but there was sometimes a little too much cheese. Yeah, the thing about Jace with the sight was a bit cheesy.
It was, the way that he said, you have the sight.
Yeah, and he's like, how do I not know you? And I was like, I think Kat definitely has that like quirky side of Chloe, I think.
Dom as Jace.
Although I don't feel like we got that much Jace. Well, we did, but we didn't see much sarcastic Jace in the episode. The little bit that we did, I really enjoyed. I really liked it. I think it was when Jace was removing his glamour or something, or when he was talking about glamours and he was like, I know I can deny them all this, and I was like, yes.
I liked that bit too. Overall,
good job.
Dom gets the seal of approval. I thought, like, I was like, no one can beat Robert Sheehan.
I was going to say, Robert Sheehan did a really good job.
Because he was such a good Simon. But Alberto, I think both of them just are Simon.
I was going to say,
so
they
good.
are, I'm pretty sure he's the only one in the cast who's actually read all of the books.
Yeah.
And I think you can tell, like, I think he really gets Simon.
He is so good as Simon. I love it. And you know the bit where he takes his top off?
Yes.
I was like, damn.
I know, I was like, Simon.
Simon.
I absolutely love Emerald. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, but I don't know if
never either.
No, Emerald's very good. I like her a lot.
I think she did such a good job.
I think that she is extremely good and sassy and sexy.
I agree.
She's very pretty. She is. And it was good.
Yeah.
I liked it. I like her hair. I love.
Oh my god,
her
hair is
dark hair, like thick dark. You know, when she takes the wig off and like, I was like, I want that hair so bad. Let's go on to Alec.
Matthew Daddario. I absolutely love
think
him.
he is one of the best looking men that has ever existed.
I actually, in pictures, I thought, okay, yeah, he's good looking, that I was more gravitated towards Dom, but when you see him like moving, it's like,
No,
woo.
in the initial picture that I saw that was like, you know, one of the like professional taken ones.
Yeah.
When I first saw him, I was like, oh, it's okay. And then I saw more pictures on set and stuff. I was like, wow,
Okay. Really attractive.
Woo! And then I saw him, and there's one scene in particular. I feel like when he's like talking to, I think it's when he's talking to Izzy, near the end, and I was like, oh my god, he was so
I like how
handsome.
tall he is. I don't
He's
know
tall.
why, but it's
He's
just,
very tall.
I really like that. But
His
I noticed
hair and his face.
he is very
He's
attractive.
a very attractive man.
I think he did a good job of being moody without coming across as like having a tantrum type thing.
Yeah, I liked the relationship with Izzy and Alec when she like teased him a bit, and then
Yeah,
you know
as I
when
was
she's
saying, I like that they really subtly hinted at his sexuality, but they didn't actually
Yeah, they
give
didn't
everything
actually
away in the
say,
first
yeah.
episode.
Good. What about Valentine? Do you have any opinions?
I
on,
do.
What's his name? Alan. I'm gonna call him
Yeah.
Alan.
So far, I mean, we haven't seen too much of him, but I feel maybe like I'm yet to take him seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I feel he's maybe a teeny bit comical. I just feel like it's a very stereotypical, like, they could have picked anywhere,
Yeah.
but they made a point of it being there. And he's like walking around and there's like these cages rattling and he's got like a massive syringe, and I'm like,
I feel like it didn't
That was
need to
really-
be said where he was. They
Yeah.
could have just shown him in an abandoned building.
I just feel like the overall image so far is like, well, that's obviously the villain.
Yeah.
I think him as an actor did a good job. Like, he was pretty threatening. And
Oh, you know when there was quite a
imposing.
violent death. You know when he stabbed the guy in the neck and he started
Yeah.
like
yeah.
wow, I just
Yeah.
did some great frothing at the mouth and like
Oh
bleeding.
my god,
and I was like,
yeah.
"Whew."
Yeah. Was that the one where... Wait, is this right? I feel like I might have imagined this in a dream, actually. Did his face start like... No.
I can't remember. Maybe.
Because if it didn't, I've been having like some weird dream.
No, it might have done.
No, it did, didn't it? His face started growing...
Maybe.
like massive cyst type
Yeah,
things,
I
and
think
then
it
like
might
they
have
started oozing, and
I think it might.
if
have
it
done.
didn't,
It may.
I'm not sure what that happened.
No, I think it might have done.
I
It was,
watched
well,
it
it was quite a graphic death anyway.
I feel like it did, because I remember watching it and thinking that was quite graphic and more than I expected.
It was graphic, yeah, but it was good. I enjoyed it.
One thing I didn't like, sorry, is Valentine's henchmen.
Oh,
I feel like
they
black,
were cringy.
so cringy. The black sunglasses were so unnecessary.
They were
and
cringy.
but yeah, just
Yeah,
I
it
feel like
was.
the way they delivered their lines was.
And they stood there. They kind of
the
stood
fact
and looked
that
dramatically
they,
at the camera. And
they
went,
literally were both in the same stance with like suits and sunglasses, and I was like,
it was cringy.
I also hated Valentine's henchmen in the film.
Yeah.
You know, when they go down to the
They
cellar
were-
and they're like, I don't want to go down to the cellar, and he's like, I was like, come on, you're Valentine's henchman. You're supposed to be like hench.
Meh.
You're like scared. I just feel like they both made the
Yeah.
mistake of going down. I feel like it just needs someone who looked like they would murder you.
Yeah. When Jocelyn gives her the I don't even know how to say it in the book.
I think
Stele.
it was one of those. It was definitely like 2 syllables.
Yeah.
Because I always said it as Stell.
It was Steely.
Steely.
Stele.
Stelle.
Stele.
I can't
Not Stella,
remember.
not Stella, that doesn't sound right. When Jocelyn gave it to her, it just seemed bizarre because she was all hiding it from them,
Hmm.
for her. And when she started drawing the symbols, she was freaking out and everything. But then at the same time, she was giving her something with the symbols on.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. I
That
never thought
was
about that.
representing
Yeah.
it. And I was like, well, if you're hiding it from them, why are you giving her this?
Yeah. Literally just asked Luke, like, oh, where is she? Like, he's just gonna tell them offhand. Whereas it's a bit more violent
It was.
in the book.
Magnus.
I really liked.
We didn't get much of him.
We didn't. But I feel like we hardly got any Magnus in the film, and I absolutely adore Magnus.
I do.
So I'm very excited at the prospect of more Magnus.
There was one bit with Magnus. You know when he like makes Clary forget, like after she's seen the big
Yeah.
thing.
I think.
They tied her up
Yeah.
to this thing, and then all he does is goes.
Yeah. I was gonna say, what was the?
Why were there
Yeah.
ropes? Do you think of the fight scene? Do you have any opinions?
I enjoyed the fight scene.
I did.
I
too.
like that the Seraph blades only like appear when you hold them.
Yeah.
A little bit like a lightsaber, but I really liked it.
No, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
because
the moment.
I imagine them to be more metally and glowing, but they were literally a lightsaber.
They were lightsabers, and
Yeah.
that's fine by me.
Yeah, but
It was fine.
cool.
It was cool. I liked her reactions to everything. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like, or maybe I wouldn't have followed them out the back,
Mm.
but I like that she just didn't join in and like, because you know sometimes in scenes like that, she would. I mean, obviously she did accidentally kill him, but by him like falling on her
Yeah.
blade rather than her just turning around doing some crazy thing
Yeah,
and killing
yeah.
it. Like they sometimes do that in things, but I think her reactions were realistic to how you'd feel if you just had made a lightsaber appear and
Mm.
they were killing demons.
I agree. I thought the CGI was really good on the demons that had the like. You know, do this and you can pretend to know what I
Yeah,
mean.
they were like
They had like 4
like a flower opening.
yeah, but more
Not
grisly.
quite so.
But I
Yeah.
thought the CGI on that was really
It
good.
was.
So I was like, maybe take a little bit of money from that, so it's just good and not very good, and put it into your portal,
In the
and
portal.
then we'll be sorted.
It's just that one portal, that one purple portal, and she
I
just
know.
stands there like.
And it's the way as well that she stood there with her arms out ready to be taken.
Yeah, I would. If my mum pushed me towards it, I'd be like,
I'd be like,
"What?
oh
I would
my
go.
god, doing?
Take me, take me to the police station."
Yeah. I also thought it was cute. I don't really know the point of it, but it was cute when Clary woke up and they like headbutted each other.
Oh yeah. That's
Although like
cute.
Izzy did not flinch at all, she was just like, ouch. I was like, wow, you must have a really strong head.
And I liked it, you know, when Simon went round, and then Simon and Luke had a bit of like banter
Yeah,
going on,
I
and I
know.
liked it. It was cute.
I thought maybe, I don't know if people would have picked up on it if they hadn't read the books, but maybe a little too much foreshadowing with the biscotti falling into the table.
This is another thing that I would like to discuss that I forgot about until now. She doesn't react that well to that situation.
No.
She
no.
puts it down and she's like, wait, I thought I had one. And then she just kind of moves on. I would be like, not only did I think I have one and there's not there, I did not draw that and now it is in my
Yeah.
page. You would remember drawing a biscotti.
If I was sitting there with Simon, I wouldn't just be like, oh, I thought I had one. I'd be like, Simon, what's my biscotti doing like inside the table?
Yeah, I'd be like, no, seriously, I didn't draw it and now
Yeah.
I didn't eat it and now it is inside
Mm.
this drawing. There was, you know, when she's like, oh, my life's just so mundane.
I
was like,
I see what you did there, girl.
Yeah, and then there is the bit, you know, where like Clary faints or whatever, and Jace like picks her up and he's like, and then he goes, I've got you, and it was really dramatic and cute. And